Not a lot here, as you may see down there. I've been watching a lot of Tires. It's on season 2. I know it's been around for a while. I don't know what I've been waiting on. I don't know. We haven't had Netflix for a while. We go in and out. We have it. We drop it. Get it back. This time I'm watching Tires. Also, feels like it's just been consuming my life forever with podcasts. This Delphi murder case had finally wrapped up. Trial, everything. Guys in prison. And now a book came out, pretty much like the podcast I had been listening to, though. I was a pretty dedicated listener. Hey, what's up, Phil? Dedicated listener to the Murder Sheet podcast. So now those are also the authors of the book. So if you listen to the podcast, like on it, like every episode for years, like Mary and I did, then the book is a lot of retelling of all of that. Confirmed, though. Ooh, Gorge 99, huh? Hey, what's up, Sam? Forbin, what's happening? And then what else have I been doing? I have been listening, been outside a lot. It finally cooled off right around the time I was close to cracking. I was on the brink of a breakdown with 90-degree days. It's just like, come on, man. This is Ohio. It's not supposed to be 90 plus every single day. Still claim it's not a record, but I think it was a personal. And like, look, if you count 89, a bunch of days it got to 89 as well. So we've had some awesome days here, like sunny in the 70s, a little breeze. So I've been outside doing some stuff finally. Hey, what's up, man? You're on the left coast? Cool. What's up, dude? So it's a little earlier for you. 8:37 p.m. here. When you said Gorge 99, I almost thought maybe you meant 98. What's up, Zoo? I've been listening to more first sets too. December 30th, 2016, and then the final day of Super Bowl. Been listening to a lot of those first sets. Anytime you see 9/11, it looks weird, but obviously that was a couple years before 9/11. And I'm sure once we get going, I'll take whatever. Summer of 89 degrees, mostly. You're right, Chris. And then the Super Bowl, I thought it was the part I hadn't listened to. I haven't listened. That's probably my least listened to festival that they've done. I hope so, Space Cowboy. I'm slightly worried. It's a coin toss kind of game, I feel. So, but when Trey announced that Super Bowl, when they were talking about the driving situation in the early days, Paige, the best driver, not really a surprise there. Hey, Dan Z, Spud, what's up? Not really a surprise that Paige was the best driver. It's a little more surprising that Mike was the worst driver. Fishman having the cardio, that's obvious. I think every person would get that if it was like a multiple choice question. And then Trey being a little fidgety, constantly messing with the music, that type of thing. Not surprising. Also makes him a little bit of a bad driver, though. But Mike being the worst driver, I wonder what they meant by worst driver. Like he just couldn't park. He was just missing exits. I wonder what made Mike the worst driver. And I could certainly see Fishman doing a. Trey said 2 tanks of gas. Well, obviously, I'd hope he can do 2 tanks of gas. Well, I don't know what they were driving. I just feel like 2 tanks of gas. Sure, that's a lot of driving, but that was from Super Bowl. He was talking on stage the final day, first set, the final day of Super Bowl. It was like July 3rd or something like that. What was it, 2011? What's happening, guys? So, what's up here? I'm sure I missed some stuff here. Shirtless, ooh boy, they went shirtless on the cover of Rolling Stone that time, and nobody was happy about it. I can't believe they did that to him. I don't know who convinced them to go shirtless, but I also remember being like, oh, great. I was like real into him at that point, too. And then they did that to me. I'm like, yep, that's the band I really like. Those shirtless old guys. Nice. I haven't listened to that one. 2011 is the year I missed a lot of, including that festival. I've since heard it, and I do think the final day is probably the best day. I don't know if that's always necessarily the case with festivals. Some days it's just always, every day is good. Like Clifford Ball, for example, it's tough to separate the days. Although the IT Festival, I felt like the first day was actually the best. Magna Ball, boy, tough to say, really. Hey, what's up, Job Volunteer? What's happening? And yeah, someone mentioned the Ohio State Texas game. College football's already back. Seems like it wasn't that long ago. I mean, maybe I guess depends on who your favorite team is. If you were one of the teams in the playoffs, or even like Ohio State, Notre Dame, you made it all the way to the championship game, practically playing into February now. So we got a couple of weeks now, a little over about 2 weeks, roughly 2 weeks to the Bourbon and Beyond Festival. Then they move over to the Coca-Cola Amphitheater. Bourbon and Coke starting out the tour. Hey-oh. Maybe they'll make a joke about that. Then down to Alpharetta. Oh, yeah, Birmingham is where the Coca-Cola Theater is. Obviously, Louisville, the Bourbon Festival. I know. I think mine too. And a little bit, maybe a slight bias sneaks in because there's the DVD box set release of that. Ah, man, how fortunate. I mean, that's great. I just wish every festival we could get that treatment. I know now, even with the webcast now, I would still buy one. They put out a full DVD package with some goodies and some extras for Magnaball. Yeah, I would take it. Just throw credit cards at them. Nobody pays with cash anymore, you know? Used to be just like, here, take my cash. It's like, here, take my credit card security code. But they're just caught up on vinyl now. Vinyl. People buy vinyl, I suppose. More people are going to buy vinyl than a DVD box set in 2025. Oh, nice. Disney to Hampton, huh? And then broke by October. Well, hey, you know what they say. You only live once. But Disney to Hampton, I bet you not many people are pulling off that combo. You know, sure, you'll have some Alpharettas to Hampton. That's nothing special. I don't know if I mean, we'll see. I'll obviously watch week one. I think last year by about week two, I was done. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if we're ever going to get any kind of anything like that anymore. Buffalo Bacon, any kind of DVD release, maybe perhaps another documentary at some point on the band that would include stuff like that Game Hinge set, the maybe the Sphere shows, the 2020 times. I don't know. Oh my God, man. Yeah, shit, Ja, that's horrible. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, it's just like life is crazy, right? You just like things are going along, and I'm pulling weeds and talking about DVD box sets, and then out there in the world, people get shot and killed. That's horrible. Sorry to hear that. Well, Disney, I guess a good place to have fun, and then Hampton, obviously. Well, hope she's all right. You say your daughter's friend it was? Yeah. Man, well, I hope she's all right. And your daughter. I'm sure that's pretty heavy for her as well. Yeah, that's heavy for me. So, yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Um, I'm assuming your daughter's not so old. So, man, damn. They thought he was like going to turn him in or something. That's messed. Oh man. Well, hopefully they get the dudes. Yikes. That's why I've been listening to a book about just a ridiculous murder. Nothing at all like that, but just straight going to and this was just some creep killed two little girls in the woods. But again, man, it's just some normal town. They were just going out that day, unseasonably warm day, and then boom, next thing you know, there's some creep following them, trapping them on the bridge. I know. I don't understand. Yeah, you're right. Also, I bought one. I've bought one. That's it. I'm not going to end up with a collection of vinyls. But, and, man, no, that's all right. No, that's all right, man. It happens. It happened, you know? Um, damn. That's just horrible, though, man. Huh. I don't know how you get out of that one. Just going back to talking about vinyl. I mean, I'm not against the sound of vinyl, really. I mean, certainly, I don't know, like, man, like people that were really into audio when it went from vinyl to cassettes, it must have been a complete nightmare. But there is the fact that vinyl made a comeback is surprising. And I'm not arguing that it sounds bad. And they have made it more convenient. Like there was a time there, if you went into vinyl, it was tough. You're like, where can I get a Pioneer receiver to hook this thing up, man? Give me some 12s. But I don't know if it's all that. Oh, they probably got like wireless vinyl players, and I don't know. I think my sister kind of got back into it a little bit though. She was the one that ended up with all of our family albums too, which was weird. Like she was the least into music. Well, maybe my mom might have been the least into music, but my dad, okay, not surprising that he didn't end up with them. A lot of stuff in there he probably didn't care about. But it's like we almost had like a family collection. Some stuff my brother would buy and become his. Um, I don't know if I ever bought an album. I think by the time I started buying my own music, we were already on the cassettes, even CDs. I definitely bought some cassettes. But then not long after, we had moved on to CDs, which seemed great at the time. Still not bad. Pop them in your car. I mean, you can't throw a vinyl player on in your car. That's certainly not going to work out. I don't care what kind. I know some of these new cars, they're like, whoa, man, we got these great shocks, our suspension system, but come on, you can't play a vinyl player in a car on the road and drive. So CDs will always have that advantage. CDs, I mean, boy, listening, running music through your phone on Spotify or YouTube Music or Apple, whichever you use, Bandcamp, Tidal, there's a lot of them. And you're right, that was another advantage of vinyl over CDs, much larger. They tried to do the whole album art thing, CDs did skip. You're right, I mean, but you had to really hit a pothole, man. Where you live, Wisconsin or something? It's true though, they would skip in a car, but most of the time, you're smooth. They get scratched though, just like vinyls would. No, there's no coming back from some scratches too on a CD. Did you ever have like a really like valued Fish CD that just had a horrible scratch no matter what you tried? Try the toothpaste trick, everything, nothing worked. I definitely did. It was yeah, burned CDs I cared a little less about. But it was the the 93, it was in Illinois. Oh god, now I'm spacing on the date. Oh man, it was an officially released 93 show, one of those live Fish volumes. I want to say like August 28th or something. Oh man, I'm spacing. I remember it had a horrible scratch. My beloved 71694 stayed in pretty good shape though. Oh really, was that the trick? I don't remember necessarily. Oh, now I'm gonna have to look. Most of the time, I feel like, yeah, I do feel like YouTube Music sounds a little bit better than Spotify. And then occasionally, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to switch to something you haven't been listening to, you can't get it going. What's I doing here? No, it's not that one. Was it this one? Volume 7? Yes, that was it. August 14th, 1993. Tinley Park, Illinois. Is that near Chicago? Somebody said Chicago. I think I said no. That might be right near Chicago, though. One of the shows, Sparks. What did I? Oh yeah, it was that December 30th 16 show they played Sparks. That was one that I occasionally would think about Sparks as a long shot. I'd love to hear it again. Kind of wishful thinking. I did not realize they had something. That's 9 years ago now. I don't know if they've played it since. Can I tell? Can I get there from here? No, probably not. Last time they played Sparks. That might have been the last Sparks they played. Tried to look. I'm looking here. I don't even remember where the skip was. Maybe it was the melt. I remember this one having an awesome melt. But then the 2001 Antelope Sparks Walk Away that started. It might have been somewhere in there, possibly. I don't know where though. The start to disc 2. Dun dun. All right. Well, I didn't plan on really thinking about that. All right, where are we going? I haven't paid much attention here. Yes, and nugs. You're right. Trofish. Mm-hmm. I still have hundreds of CDs too. I never got the old day. I mean, like you would hear it, maybe I don't know, like on TV or something. Like every now and then there'd be a story about, something would happen and rock and roll would be blamed. But I never had it like at school or anything. And I went to like a private Catholic church for a few years. Never got it. Never heard about the. And then my parents were, whatever. They weren't. They. I don't know if they'd have bought into it too much. I definitely remember my brother having some ACDC CDs or tapes, maybe even album. He actually had some albums like Flick of the Switch, and I think he had Back in Black on an album. That what was the one that was Fly on the Wall? Like those were the year. Those are kind of not very cool ACDC albums, really. Although Flick of the Switch, I like some of that stuff. But probably just because I would listen to his albums. Um, then my sister had some Police albums. Like I said, I never got into the albums. Had some Black Sabbath. That was one that used to scare me. Kiss. My dad loved Gordon Lightfoot, but we had like one Gordon Lightfoot album. Had some Eagles, had some Stones. Jesse Wells. The name sounds a little familiar, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I am. Oh no, Space Cowboy. That would be awful. I don't think I've ever been, unless, back in the day, Hera might not have had air conditioning, but the police? Oh no. Whoa, David Lee Roth's on tour? Nice. I remember that little kid on the cover of 1984. He did kind of look like a little devil. I think we had that one. That was one we had. I don't know who claimed that one. That might have been one my sister bought. And then all hell broke loose. My sister somehow went from listening to like the Police, and she liked that one band, The Final Countdown. But somehow she like went backwards and started listening to like New Kids on the Block or something. I don't know. All her teen magazines too. I got real into Tiffany and Debbie Gibson for a while. That was hot stuff, man. And then some of the first cassettes I bought were actually like rap cassettes. And then maybe I'm trying to think of some of the first cassettes I would have bought. I definitely remember I can't even maybe like I can't even remember specifically which one. Oh man, I don't even remember specifically which ones, but and I don't remember ever by time I was buying like, hey, this is just coming out today, it was more CDs. I can't think of a single one. I mean, I definitely remember. So I also remember doing the like 8 CDs in the mail at once. I got that all. I got my collection going big time. And then Zoodalores, I didn't get into Zappa until maybe like my sophomore year in high school. I had a boss, the manager at my fast food restaurant where I worked. Well, he had Zappa strictly commercial. And that just started me listening to Zappa. And around that time, I was also getting into like the Doors and the Who. Also, but and then would also listen to like Alice in Chains or something. Like more of like what was going on at the time. I remember going to see Better Than Ezra one time. That's probably my high school girlfriend's call, I would say. The old Better Than Ezra show. Yeah, I'm not sure if I ever even gave them their penny either, Justin. I kind of remember my mom always getting on me about some bill. I think one time I got like a Garth Brooks CD because I didn't send the thing in telling them I didn't want it or whatever. I don't know how that worked. I can't remember. I think you had to send them like something back, or they were just going to automatically send you like the CD of the month. I got a Garth Brooks CD one time. That's how Garth Brooks sold so many millions, I bet. Debbie Gibson, that's right, dude. Debbie Gibson ruled. Well, I mean, I'm talking like I don't even know if I could name a single song, or back then I probably could have. Um, I might have ripped a couple pictures out of my sister's magazines. And Tiffany, that was big time. Well, if I trust a guy that wasn't into Tiffany at the time. I know, man. How did Columbia House make it? Nobody ever paid them, and they just sent you CDs. Was it just marketing by the record companies? They're like, yeah, whatever. We'll give some CDs away, man. Ultimately, we hope, kind of like Fish, we'll give our music away. Ultimately, hopefully they buy some more. Yeah, Forbin knows what's up. Nothing they could do to minors. Ah, that's good. Good point. What are they going to do? I didn't know any better. I think she at some point tried to get serious and become Deborah Gibson. Boo. That's all they did was covers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Oh, I don't know that for sure, but I definitely Tiffany's big hit was a cover, no doubt. Um, I don't know about them boy bands. Did the boy bands write their? Those had to be originals, right? Some fat dude wrote them. I think he was like trying to hit on all the boys too, or was that a different era of boy bands? She even switched to Deb at one point. Oh, come on, the locomotion. Oh, you're right. No, um, damn, Tiffany. Did Tiffany even have a last name? I know, never once. Nor did I mean, she wouldn't even cover something like Wilson. And then before, see, around the time she came out, certainly the very early stuff existed. Part two, Fluff's Travels, maybe. Could have covered Fluff's Travels. I don't know. It didn't really matter, but I was kind of hoping that we would figure out something to talk about because going with tires, the Delphi book. I haven't even finished the Delphi book. I'm up to the arrest though, the arrest of Richard Allen. And but I do recommend it if you like to listen to books or if you like to read books even. I'm at the point, man, listening. It's just kind of like a podcast, really. Kevin Greenlee, it's his first shot, one of the authors. He's an experienced podcaster at this point, but the book reading, I'd give him maybe a B minus, I guess. It's not bad. It's a good grade, but it's not an A plus. I don't know what an A plus even sounds like, but it's not Kevin Greenlee. All right, so this isn't much of an endorsement, but just Mary and I were so into that case forever. I'm not like some big true crime guy, but I do like Ween. I like Ween, but I've never been able to go like full in. Was Bon Bon? Were you a fan of Debbie Gibson, or do you just think it's ridiculous that anybody was? Now, look, when I say I'm a fan, I'm not saying I'm a fan. I was a fan like I am a Fish or King Gizzard or something. All right, maybe I had a couple. I didn't even have posters on the wall. I just ripped them out of my sister's teen magazine, whatever it was at the time. What they call those back then? I don't know if she ever made the cover with New Kids on the Block. I swear those fuckers made it every week, month, whatever. Never got to see them in concert, Debbie or Tiffany. My sister, however, did get to see New Kids on the Block. It's disappointing. At Kings Island, of all places. Possibly Teen Beat. Yeah, okay. I'm going to definitely say Teen Beat if two of you in a row said Teen Beat. I'd be real bummed to find out. I mean, it seems like Tiffany or Debbie Gibson should have opened up for New Kids on the Block. I'll be pissed if I find out. I should ask my sister who opened for New Kids that day. Did they even have an opener? Rumor has it Donnie Wahlberg rode the Vortex. Right? Tons of girls were at that age. Well, Tom, not everybody is, You're not required to be. I definitely don't try to sell people. Same thing with Fish. I don't go around trying to, maybe a little bit early on in this channel when I discovered them. But even then, I was just kind of giving my thoughts. I wasn't like really, I don't even necessarily have songs when people are like, hey, what should I listen to if it's Fish or King Gizzard? Because I occasionally get that on this channel from the rare sports fan and that cares enough to ask about the music. I don't even really know, what's a good Fish song to recommend? I'm like, well, do you like rock and roll? Then I would recommend, I'd never go crazy. I'm never like, oh, dude, you got to check out the Albany YEM, you got to check out this Magna Ball Gin. I'm usually like, hey, check out Wilson or Character Zero. Maybe like a live version, a short, maybe like an 8-minute Down with Disease or something live. Mike's Weekapog, maybe getting a little loud. Now, if I know there's somebody that likes pretty wild stuff, they're already listening to maybe jazz or something, then obviously I don't even know if I'd recommend Fish as jazz though, you see. I don't know. I might remember like Slave to the Traffic Light or Divided Sky or Fluffhead or something. And then Hoist, I feel like maybe Hoist is a good album to start people out with. And Mary seems to like a lot of the songs from Hoist. She's recently added Axzilla. I think that's because in Columbus they played Axzilla. But she does kind of seem to like several of the songs from Hoist. And she doesn't like a ton of their songs, really. She doesn't dislike a ton either. David Bowie's one she definitely likes. She got started great. One of the first Fish songs she liked was Sin of a Mule. And she liked Slave to the Traffic Light. But then she started getting into like Character Zero and More, Possum and Loving Cup, things like this. I don't know if she likes Horn. I bet you she wouldn't like Horn. I definitely don't think she's not like a jam band person. Anything like even like Prince Caspian's another one she liked. Although she did like at the Nutter Center years ago, a couple of years back when they did the like Prince Caspian, No Man's Land back into Prince Caspian. She did like that. And that whole suite there probably lasted 20 plus minutes. Wish she wouldn't have got a 26-minute Wave of Hope at Columbus right after like an almost 20-minute Life-Saving Gun. 20-minute Life-Saving Gun was pretty cool. She kind of liked Martian Monster a little bit. She's basically a chomper. I know. I wish Sin of a Mule was more of a regular. That's one that's another question I've gotten a lot. Hey, if you ever got to meet him, what would you ask him? I'd be like, why don't you guys play Sin of a Mule more? The Wells Wolfman's evil cousin. Yeah, but it makes that turn. It can certainly get pretty evil, can't it? I've never thought of it as Wolfman's evil cousin, though. There are songs that I feel like are cousin songs. Like Taste and Limb by Limb, for example, Blaze On and No Man's Land. That's just songs I feel like should be buried together at some point. They should just get plots side by side. And if one ever leaves the rotation, the other should as well. The Well and Thread. Oh, yeah, okay, The Well and Thread. I see how you can make that connection, you know. Yeah, no, just the Halloween stuff in general. Like, don't overdo it, but maybe even not a song a show. Maybe a song per city or something from some Halloween show. No, not really, Tom. I don't. Mostly just Fish, and then King Gizzard seems like they're on the brink of becoming a jam band. I guess their older fans would be like they're not a jam band, but they sure do a lot of jam band stuff. But other than that, I mean, I'm not, yeah, just not really. Like Spafford and Goose. People ask me a lot if I like Spafford and Goose. Not, I don't hate them really, but I don't listen to them a ton. Um, mm. Thing is, with King Gizzard and Fish playing so many shows and me liking listening to the live shows, it just gobbles up so much time. And occasionally, if I'm in the car, I'll just listen to a few one-offs here and there by a band. I like the Kitchen Dwellers a lot. Not necessarily a jam band, but they do some jam bandy stuff. They're jam band adjacent, I guess, maybe. Something like that. They're in the neighborhood. So I like the Kitchen Dwellers. I like Billy Strings. Occasionally, even here recently, over the last month or so, or however long it's been since that the Dead 60 event. Well, there was a Trey show in there. I've been listening to some Dead Studio stuff. Oh, nice. Cool. You saw him coming up? That's cool. That's always real cool. Oh, really? The start of Ghost and Santos got you good at Force, huh? Hmm. Sometimes when I hear Santos, I hear Walk Away, I think. Occasionally. Not every time, but sometimes I feel like I hear Walk Away when they fire up Santos. Anybody else? Anybody? Anybody? Any fans of Tires here? It's pretty funny. I mean, it's more sitcom-y than I expected. But I haven't watched a ton of Netflix shows like that. I don't know. Maybe just from the clips I've seen and the trailer and just knowing some of the comedians that are in it, I didn't expect it to be. It's a bit sitcom-y, even the time running. I bet you'll like Spafford, Tom. Well, if you like jam bands, that is, and newer ones. right when I was just starting to listen to them a little more. I've told this story before, and then I gave King Gizzard one more shot. I had listened to King Gizzard a couple of times, and then my friend Joe did a YouTube video about King Gizzard, and then that night I gave him a third shot, and it clicked that time. And then I got my other friend listening to King Gizzard at that time, and then we both just totally bailed on Spafford. But they're pretty good, and yeah, a lot of shows out there. Yeah, Fish doesn't bust out Walk Away very often either. Yeah, it has some really hilarious parts, Brian, but then, there's some episodes where I don't know if I barely laugh, but you're right. And then I screwed up, man. I started watching season 2 first. I don't know how I made that mistake, but I did. No way. I had not heard that. Greg is saying that, oh yeah, My Morning Jacket. I was thinking Medeski Martin, and what'd they do, get rid of Wood? Does Medeski Martin and Wood still play? Whatever happened to those guys? I feel like they're kind of like in the founding fathers range of jam bands, kind of. So Spafford ghosted their founding bassist, Jordan. It's an ugly story. This is the second or third time the lead guitarist has done this to members, including the drummer and the old keyboard player. Wow, so he just boots guys out of the band, huh? That's unusual. Well, I don't know. I'll take your word for it, though. Oh, yeah, Dogs in a Pile. You're right. That's another good one that I've listened to a little bit. And I've heard some crazy stories about them that, like, they'll write new songs at set break or something. Or they'll, like, have a jam one night, and then the next night, like, out of that jam, a new song will be born or something. Very prolific. Yeah, I'm not a Goose hater. They're okay. A couple songs. When I was listening to multiple shows, I got more into them when Trey was on tour with them a while back. But I haven't listened much since then. I'm like a lot of people. I have some issues with the auto tune. I think their bass player is a monster in a good way. And I kind of like the guy with the mustache. Just not really into the lead guy. I don't know. It's just like he kind of wants to be in a pop rock band, it seems like. Right? Like he just like it would be his dream to be like the head of I don't even know. I don't know any pop rock bands really right now, but it just seems like he wishes this were a different era, or whether that be the 80s or 90s. I guess early 2000s, there were still some relevant, just normal pop rock bands. And pop rock, I don't necessarily mean like Billy Idol, although he was. What was he, pop punk? I don't even know what the hell Billy Idol was. Maybe even like Pearl Jam. They're kind of poppy, right? Not pop in the way Madonna or New Kids on the Block are, but pop rock, I guess, in a way. Grunge, I know, but maybe I'm just, because they got popular, I'm accusing them. But then I wouldn't say Radiohead's pop rock. Maybe just Pearl Jam has done some pop rocky things. I don't necessarily mean that as an insult. I'm just trying to say that's the type of band I think the guy in Goose wishes he was in. Just selling out arenas. Just song like kind of the heyday of MTV. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong because I don't know very much about him at all, but I have no idea. They do seem to have some good they seem to hustle. I don't know what to call that, but they do seem to have some hustle, and they find themselves in some situations where it's like, well, what catapulted them? Like why is Trey doing a tour with them? Why are they playing these arenas? And why is their tour being broadcast on Nugs and all this type of thing? I don't know. You're right. From that era of stuff, Medeski, Martin, and Wood still playing, huh? See, now, Tom, that becomes a problem, too. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to skip over a bunch of stuff here to try to catch up. Yeah, Greg, maybe you're right if you're referring to Pearl Jam, but he said his coworker just listens to Gizzard nonstop. Yeah, I try not to do that to Mary. Like, if we're in the car, sure, there's times when that's all I would want to listen to is like a Fish show or a King Gizzard show. And then way back in like 2000, 2002, 3, and 4, I had some coworkers that probably still to this day hate Fish because of me. That was but I was never like saying, "Hey, you got to check this out, check this out, check this out." It's just that generally I controlled the music. Um, I wasn't going to tolerate whatever they played. You know what I mean? Whatever they were going to play, I was just going to make fun of it and then want to play Fish. And then usually they'd be like, "All right." Like they didn't want to hear Fish again, but they didn't want to get made fun of for whatever they were going to play. So they're like, "All right, I give up. Just play your fucking Fish." I remember one time it was like we had this crappy little portable CD player, wasn't playing real well. He like smacked it so hard. I know he purposely broke it. Every now and then you had to give your CD player a little whack, but wham! I was like, all right, I guess I deserve that. It was about the 35th time I've played disc 2 of July 16th, 94. This bro probably would have liked Debbie Gibson. Yeah, I've heard Pearl Jam does really good live shows for sure. I have heard that. Like I was saying, when I was saying they were pop rock, I guess I was more saying that's just like the type of popular band that the guy from Goose would like to be in. All this jam band stuff. I know he's a great guitar player, but yeah, he would sacrifice some of that for some for something, an MTV video or something. You see how well produced those videos are. He's like, maybe we can bring MTV back. Hey, what's up, Evan? Cool, cool. Evan, is that you and your wife or you and your other? Listen every morning. Colleen, okay, I'm guessing. Hey, what's up, Colleen? If you're there, appreciate you guys watching. Hey, what's up, Kyle M? What's happening? Can't believe you were at Chicago last year, man. I didn't know that. And apparently you didn't know I was there. It was like right in the midst of Fish Tour, too, just as Fish Tour was wrapping up. So, like, everything on this channel was kind of fish, fish, fish. And then, but I did say, hey, not going to be here tomorrow for Dick's, going to King Gizzard. Boom. That's to 2024. Hazard is doing some quality work on some great shows. Who's Hazard? I'm not sure if I know Hazard. What is that? Is that the person that does tires? Yeah, Frank. He was the first person that I think the first time I listened to him, I listened to the real early stuff. I just assumed, yeah, their first albums are probably their best. Don't ever do that. I suggest start with their albums in 2022. There's 5 of them. Certainly you're going to like one of them. No way. Well, Mr. Bungle, that is, well, hey, that's the Goose way. They're like, well, we'll let the guy buy a poster. That's crazy, though. How drunk were you that they wouldn't let you in? That only happened to me one time in my whole life. Never been much of a drinker, but my friends were going to University of Cincinnati, and we were just bouncing around from bar to bar. And I was getting pretty drunk, and I think in between bars, when we parked, I got out of the car and like puked in the parking lot, wiped my mouth off, and tried to go into a next bar. But one of the guys at the door was like, he ain't coming in. So we all tried to move. We were like, oh, whatever. And then we left, walked about 20 feet away. I think I like took a shirt off, and another guy had like an extra shirt in the car or something, or maybe he had a t-shirt under his button-up shirt. He gave me that. So we just tried the old switcheroo. It was my face, man. I had just the look of a really drunk guy. It didn't matter what shirt I was wearing. So we were rejected a second time. I've never been so drunk at a concert that they wouldn't let me in, though. That's pretty drunk, Mr. Bungle. I've seen MMW, I think, twice, but way back in 2006 or something. Oh, good. Well, that's good to hear, Mr. Bungle. Boom. Congratulations. And I'm glad the poster was in good shape. Yeah, you're right, Rick. Rick's talking about how it did kind of make you feel like the Fonz. It did. was really amazing if it would like switch to another song. If you're like, oh well, I was kind of sick of that song anyhow, and then boom, it just went to right to the next one. Yeah, same. I'm one of those people, I think, Forbin. Yep, Brian, coming soon. Got the 1 day festival appearance. I did do Henry. I did do a Field of Vision recap. It's just like a video or two back. Just I don't know. Get on YouTube and look up like F Zappa 20 Field of Vision recap. I think I might have wrote FOV. I think either way you can probably find it. I don't think there's a ton of people recapping King Gizzard on YouTube. Christopher Hazard, huh? Not sure if I know him. I know. Yeah, I remember that, Tom. I'm kind of glad. I'm not sure. Like, I really love that song. I just don't know if that's a very, I wonder why they chose that song. Out of all the songs, that seems like the least fishy song. I don't know, man. They're actually sleeping right now, Steve. Give me a chance to do something here. They just sit in the wind. Most of the weed pulling has been right out here in the back, and they sit at the windows, desperately want out. Good. You're right. Today you can laugh. Yeah, Kyle, what a show, right? The only thing, dude, by the end, my feet were just, because we had to walk so far to get in. Like, we parked way far. I think we parked, I don't even know, man, like almost 2 miles from, because we were going to get some dinner. And then we were like, we're close enough. You want to just walk over? And it was pretty far. Maybe not 2 miles, but it was a good walk. And then walking back at night, oh, man, it was the worst. Because standing there, yeah, and we got there a little early. We were probably just basically kind of just standing there, like show ready, a half an hour early. Then the entire 3 hour and like 15 minutes of the show. Did not bail on the encore that night. There was no encore. That's very not jam bandy of them. No set breaks, no encore. Sometimes 3+ hour straight sets. Oftentimes more now. Just did 3 in a row. I don't know. Whoa, I am so far behind. Government Mule needs more love. No, I can do that, though. Hey, what's up, American English, Brent? I haven't seen you in a while. You started thinking about your picks yet? I was thinking about Sparks as a long shot. Might have to check the stats, though. Was 2016 the last time it was played? Uh-oh, what did Martino say? Oh, yes, I remember. You're right. I kind of was that Medeski? That wasn't the who were that other duo? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was Medeski and Wood and Mike. But I thought it was that one duo. Russo and Benevito. Mike and the Benevito Russo duo played that crazy long foam as well, right? Maybe both of them did. But I think the Benevito Russo duo and Mike also played a crazy long foam. But maybe you're right. Maybe so did Medeski and Wood. Or you're confused. Dude, right? And man, yeah. I'm just not used to being standing on concrete for that long. But that was the only bad part. By the end, my feet were just pounding. I remember just kind of doing this stuff, like trying to get on my tip of my toes and jog in place a little bit, which kind of works for what they close that night with, Float Along, or what did they close? What did they close with that night? They mixed in some hot water. Was it the other big jammer from that album? Shit. See, I'm never great live like this. This is why I never want to, like, when people ask me to go to, or like if I'd be on their show or their podcast, this would always happen. They'd ask me a question, and I'd be like, let me think. I'm not real quick on the fly like that. Like, that was a show I went to, a show I loved, and I do not remember what they closed with. It was either Float Along or the other big jammer from that album, but which I can't even remember the title of. Thank God I got Gizzard here, or Google here. Yep. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Martino. Good. At least I was right. No, it was Head on Pill. That's the other one I was thinking of. Um, Vomit Coffin. What site is this? Oh, Bandcamp. That's right. You can still get it on Bandcamp. See what we got here. Will it just play? Will it give me a little sample? Can I just play it? I guess not. Sure you can. Oh yeah, that the first couple of minutes too. I know, right? Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone. Hey, what's up, truncated sleigh? But yeah, you could tell they were going to do something off of Nonagon. These first couple of minutes of anticipation, I loved it. It's like, what's it going to be? Because in Newport, I had just gotten a Gamma Knife and People Vultures. Every time Cavs does like a little warm-up beat too, I always think it's Dripping Tap. Good call, Martino. Me neither. Bong rip for days. Almost heard like honey there. Yeah, you too, Trunky. I miss you guys when Fish isn't on tour. I mean, I haven't been posting very many videos at all either, so I'm partially to blame this time, but I've been to 4 festivals. I've only been to 1 festival, and it wasn't even a Fish festival. But it was the inaugural Bonnaroo. It's one I feel like is worth. That's one to hang up. I think. Don't worry, I'll turn this down eventually. Maybe I'll go get one of the cats. It sure did, right? But that's what it was. Oh, what a great feeling too. I was so happy that they opened with this. My only beef was that it was still daytime. I just feel like Robot Stop in the daytime, not as effective as at night. It was one of the first songs that really got me hooked too. Hey, Dead Fish Cheese Spread. Not much, really. We were early on, we talked about vinyl, like surprising that it made a comeback. Some of the advantages of CDs versus vinyl. Ultimately, vinyl does sound better. Cassettes, what a joke. We didn't really talk much about the Delphi book or the weeds in the gutters or the show tires. Then we talked about lots of random Fish stuff. Mostly, seemed like there was something there, though. There was something there that took up about the bulk of the conversation for like 20 minutes. I don't know what it was. I'm just here. Oh, dude, you went to everyone but Cypress? Now, yes, Big Cypress, Clifford Ball. I would say certainly Trump going to Bonnaroo 1. Trey was there. It was during the hiatus. There was rumors of a possible Fish sit-in with Trey. Like it would actually break out. An actual Fish show would break out. Strong rumors of that at Bonnaroo. I had forgotten about that. Then someone reminded me. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because I remember at one point, maybe like Phil Lesh and friends played, and then some DJ and Trey. Well, in between Phil Lesh and friends and Trey, I had to make the run back to camp to get something. I don't know, blanket or some shit. And I remember passing some guy. It was like a ghost town out there. Everybody was overseeing Phil and Trey, basically. And one guy, he was just like playing a guitar by himself, sitting at his truck, and was just like, "Think they're gonna play tonight?" I was like, "Who?" Like, Trey's baby, who the hell are you talking about? And he was like, "Fish, man. Who else?" I don't know. I hope so. Certainly hope so. They did not. Trey just played until it's never ending, really. I remember by the end of that, I was like, I hate this guy again. Because when I first listened to Fish, I didn't really like Trey's vocals at all. Good news for Goose fans. It's never too late. Well, anyways, at the end of Bonnaroo, after like 3 hours of Trey and like 3 days of being there, I was like, that's it. I hate this guy again. Get me out of here. Didn't get out of there till the morning. Ooh, Catching Smoke's a good one. Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Like that was a way of rewarding yourself. Like, yeah, sure, I'm not getting cigarettes right now, and it kind of sucks. But if I can just go another day and go buy another album, that's pretty cool. I like the reward system there. And if you're not quitting for financial reasons, sure, hell yeah. I do kind of remember something like that, Martino. You're right. Um, oh yeah, like I was saying too. I don't know how I did it. I thought I was on season one. Somehow I started on season two. Not that it's the type of show that matters, really, whichever way you go. Let's see here. I think I promised a rip and a cat. One of the cats has got to be up moseying around by now. Um, yeah, the only vinyl I own, what we were just talking about, King Gizzard, right there. You see it up there? It's a vinyl album, Nonagon Infinity. Never been opened, sealed. Found my Michael Jordan picture today, man. I started freaking out. Thought I'd lost my Jordan picture. Now, where did I put it again? Oh, I put it up there. It's safe now. Where did I put it again? Damn it. I don't see it. Oh, I see it. It's up there hiding behind that fish cup. It's right. I'm not going to do that again. Micah Parsons trade, big news today, if you're a fish fan. I don't know if I'll do the Buckeyes Texas game recap or not. Maybe when I finish this Delphi book, Shadow of the Bridge, I'll do a recap of that. Maybe I'll do a Buckeyes recap and just really confuse the hell out of fish fans that aren't here listening to this right now. You'll be like, what the hell happened? Oh, you got a vinyl player? I remember there was like when the Rift, well, there was like one summer tour when the Rift, they put Rift out on vinyl. And it seemed like there was a little bit of marketing push by Fish somehow to, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to skip some bunch of chats again. I don't know if they were like playing, I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like, man, they're making an effort to really push this Rift on vinyl. So I just totally started making fun of people that were into vinyl. I saw a guy, speaking of that, guy at King Gizzard was walking around with a couple vinyl albums. I'm like, posters can be pretty inconvenient if you bring your tube and all that. But this dude just bought a couple of albums, man. Now they like re-released it on vinyl a couple years ago. I don't know if it was originally released on vinyl or not, but there was like a reissue of it on vinyl. I think they slowly do that from time to time, put something out on vinyl. I believe they do. And then, yes, some albums, like certainly albums now as they come out, are released on vinyl. It is, but just to see, boy, that's a bold move to buy it at the merch stand and have to carry it around all night. Yeah, so I should probably buy at least one Fish vinyl. Like, I don't know what my favorite cover would be. Rift is a cool cover. Not Billy Breeds. That's for sure. I do not want that on vinyl. Farmhouse is pretty. Round Room, actually. There's a couple decent ones. Not Big Boat. Definitely don't want Big Boat, man. Maybe Rift. That's a cool album cover, I think. Nectar was cool. Once you see the face, you can't unsee the face. That'd be good. That'd be a good conversation piece to have around, maybe. Not that nobody ever comes here, though. What am I talking about? Anybody that would come here knows fish, and I don't know. My mom and Mary's mom don't really care. Oh, you're right. They have put out some of the live fish on. That's pretty cool, though. Not that I'm a vinyl guy, but that is cool. Oh, David Crosby, huh? I don't know if I've ever thought that. Now I won't be able to unsee David Crosby. Occasionally, apparently, fish fans just discover that. I don't know. I thought that was very early fish info. But that's so long ago. Like back then, it was relatively new info. Kind of newish, you know. But yeah, if you just stumbled upon fish in 2021 or 2024, maybe you don't know about the face on the album cover. But yeah, I think Rift might be my favorite cover. Yeah. Yeah. All those live fish series were pretty cool. All right, maybe I'll go try to find a cat, see what's up. Neighbor's cat's been stopping by quite a bit. I don't know. I think he's like, your cats are indoor cats. You need me to come check your place out because those pussies don't know, man. I'll get this straightened out. You got a mouse problem, a spider. Let me let me check it out. I'll be right back. Well, it sounds like Floppy is currently in the litter box. I don't know if I'm really gonna want to pick him up immediately. Maybe I can lure him in here and get him up here. Rose is plopped comfortably on the top of the cat tree. I'm not getting her down, at least not without some fresh wounds. Totally healed too. She hasn't scratched me in a couple weeks. Try to keep it that way. Floppy, where you at, bud? Where'd you go, bud? I heard you. There he is. Come here. Come in here. Come back here. Come back here. Come here. It's a big deal. Yes. You gonna get up here? Hey. Don't be so suspicious. Come on up. Come on up. Oh, he's coming. Here he comes. Oh, yeah. There he is. Nice tailbone, thick neck, long legs, clean booty. Now that's a cat. What? Come here, come here. All right. All right, you got a little floppy action. He's kind of the star. Rose is, she's a diva. All right. Well, we're almost at an hour, and that means it's time to go. Sorry if you're watching this after the fact. I never have figured out this live chat thing. I don't know why, like, sometimes when I watch other live streams, like, their chat's there. My chat's, like, never there. Eventually it shows up. If you wait, like, 2 days, you can see the chat after the fact, but, oh, you got, like, 10 Giz vinyl albums, huh? Well, I just got one. But I have the Clifford Ball DVD box set. I was big into that. I think maybe we briefly touched on that at the beginning. But that was my favorite. It was a brief era. But music DVDs were kind of big for a couple of years there. And then just as it was all dying off, the Clifford Ball DVD box set was released. And that's probably my favorite piece of physical media, period. What a great festival, great shows. Just to have a soundboard of it is amazing. Then we get a DVD box set release. Big Cypress, we can hope. All right, boom, we're out of here. Oh, possible Billy. Speaking of Claypool, that just reminded me. Billy Gizzard compilation coming soon. Some people hate both.